Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down.
I know how you feel about all this Christmas business, getting depressed and all that. It happens to me every year.
Hey everyone, it's Natalie. Welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing with you how I put this makeup look together. I'm sharing with you sort of a chatty get ready with me video. We're going to be using the Tati Beauty eyeshadow palette. This was highly requested by you guys. I featured this palette in my holiday favorites video that came out a couple of weeks ago and asked if you guys maybe would like to see an eyeshadow eye look with it, and so many of you were like, yes, please show this to us. I'm a mom, and so my makeup has to be sort of quick, on the go. I need a palette or a makeup product or a tool, whatever it is, to be really user-friendly. I have found that to be true with the Tati Beauty palette, and I know sort of her mission for this is to make a palette that any woman can use. So a woman who works a corporate or a more glamorous job can use this, as well as a mom from her home with little kids running around could put together more of an everyday look, and I have found that to be true. So stay tuned to see how I put together this eye makeup look that's holiday inspired, and I also share with you the rest of what's on my face and sort of chat it up with you here as I put it all together.
I never get what I really want.
What is it you want?
Okay, hey, hi, welcome to my kitchen. This has the best lighting on a December day, and it's been a while since I've done like a chatty get ready with me video. My last couple of makeup looks videos that I've done have been voiceover, so it's fun to have you guys here. But today I'm going to start with my complexion. We are going to get to that Tati palette. It's the star of the show, but I just want to kind of get the other products out of the way, show you what I am enjoying lately. And I've already like washed my skin in the shower. I did my morning skincare, which if you guys would like to see a skincare routine video or like skincare products that I'm loving lately, then let me know. I can make that video for you guys in the new year. But just to prep my skin right now for getting some foundation on, I'm just going in with the ordinary 100% organic cold pressed rose hip seed oil. I just have like a dot in the palm of my hand. I'm going to warm that up and just press it into the driest parts of my face, which is my T-zone. So I kind of have reverse combination skin. So I'm going to press some of this oil into that dry T-zone. Typically people are oily in their T-zone and normal or dry on like the perimeter of their face. I'm the exact opposite. I only get oily in my temples and like on the sides of my cheeks, and then I'm really dry through my T-zone, especially during the winter time. So hydrating my T-zone with some rosehip seed oil really helps. And then the foundation that I'm going in with today, surprise, surprise, this is Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. And I was talking about this in a recent makeup video. I think it was like a fall makeup look, and you guys said, hey, did you see that they have lighter shades, like fair shades now versus just the light shades that they had? So I got the fairest one, this is FC1, and I mix it in because it is too fair for me on its own. I mix it in with my LC1, which is just a little too dark for me in the colder months. So I'm going to dab that all over my face. You can see how light that is, which just overjoys me because for so long I've had to lighten up this next lightest shade that they previously had, which is just too dark for me. So the struggle has ended. I now have my perfect way to make my shade. I love this foundation so much. I've talked about it so many times. It just evens everything out. Like anything that looks blotchy or red, just makes it all nice and smooth and evened out, but it still lets things like, you know, these little beauty marks that I have, or even like acne scars or dark circles, it just lets them still show through so that there's this realness to my complexion and I don't look like I've slapped a ton of makeup on. That's my own personal style. You guys know I have been a Shape Tape girl. I still keep this on hand, but I have discovered a new concealer. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Concealer. It has excellent coverage. It reminds me so much of Tarte Shape Tape. And so I've been using this. I wish they had more of a pink or lighter shade. This is the lightest that I could find, and it's just a touch too yellow. So especially like in the winter time, I'm definitely not yellow at all. So sometimes I have to go in with that FC1 foundation and mix it in with the concealer, and it actually helps it just blend out really nicely, especially under my eyes. And I get really dry under my eyes, and so it starts to look crepey. And when you just add that thinner consistency, like the thinner formula of the foundation in with the concealer, it just makes it all melt in beautifully. The Candid Concealer is definitely a new favorite of mine, but an old favorite of mine is this. This is the CoverGirl Advanced Radiance Pressed Powder. As someone with dry skin, I'm always looking for a way to set my facial products without making things look dry, and this is the best option that I have ever found. So I'm just setting my under eye, and then I am gonna go to like the perimeter of my face and just dab some on, because that is where I tend to get a little oily. But I am going to leave my T-zone pretty much alone from powder. At the end, I'll probably just dust a little bit. I just want to let that dewiness still shine through from the rosehip oil, because I just feel like it's much more natural than a matte look. I'm definitely not like a matte on the face sort of girl. The next couple of products are ones that you guys have seen before. This is the Pure Cosmetics, what's this called? The Bronzing Act Matte Bronzer. This is the light shade, and I have definitely hit pan, but it's still going strong. And I'm just gonna bronze up like the high points of my cheeks where the sun would naturally hit. I'm not doing any contouring or anything. I just haven't been into contouring in the last couple of years, so this is what I do. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like cocoa. Whenever Weston's near me and I'm putting my makeup on, he always pokes his head up whenever I get this out, because it smells so lovely. It has just this nice sort of cocoa vanilla scent. I'll put a little of the excess on my nose, and then I'm gonna go in with this blush. This is the Burt's Bees blush in Shy Pink. This is a nice neutral pink. The Tati palette is definitely more on the warm tone side, and so it goes with this really nicely. Okay, so you guys let me know in the comments what sort of eye makeup look that you typically go for. Are you more of a warm tone gal or cool toned? I actually really like neutral. I like to keep my eye look not too cool and not too like orangey warm. But back in the day, I was much more of a cool toned girl. I did a lot of taupe and purple and like cool grays. And I just think maybe since the trends have changed, I dig a warm toned look now. But before I get to my eyes and start doing all that, you let me know your answers in the comments. I'm going to do my eyebrows. I always do my eyebrows before I do any eyeshadow. I feel like having my brows done really helps me keep the structure of my eye look in balance with the rest of my face. So I'm just gonna brush up my eyebrow hairs because they are, oh my goodness, they are so long. And then I'm going in with my favorite brow product. This is the Glossier Brow Flick, and I'm going to draw in some hairs here and add a little bit in here where it gets just a little sparse, and then just kind of go back and forth and even out. This is the eyebrow that I put more product into because, as you can see, it's shorter. It starts farther in. Thank you 2004 Natalie for over tweezing. This product takes just a little bit of practice to get used to, but I just kind of anchor my pinky on my nose and then just use this sort of motion to very lightly, just like super lightly. I even did it a little bit too dark there. Just graze my skin with the tip of the pen, and it's like an ink formula and it lasts so long. It's crazy. Drawing little fake hair strokes to make it look like I actually have hair there and I didn't over tweeze when I was a little 14-year-old. I love how natural that looks. It looks like actual hairs. It doesn't look like painted on lines, which I've had that experience with other brow products. And I have been using this Glossier Brow Flick since April or May, I want to say. This is only my second pen that I've had to buy, and I do my brows pretty much every single day, whether I'm wearing like a full face of makeup or not. So those are on, and you've all heard it before. Brows are sisters, not twins, so of course they're not perfectly even, but whose ever are, and if they are, I always think that looks a little weird. So I'm good with that right now. I'm just gonna go in with the Boy Brow product from Glossier. It's a really good duo, the Brow Flick and then the Boy Brow. Just brush it through and brush my brow hairs into the direction that I want them to go. And then at the head of my brow, I just take these long hairs and I kind of flick them up and make them a little feathery. It looks kind of weird at first. I like flick them all the way up and they're kind of long. I let them sit there for a second while that product dries down. And then I'll just kind of go in with a little spoolie and kind of tame those down so they're not so spiky. So I'm gonna go into the crease with my Morphe M505 brush. This is the best brush of my whole life. And I'm gonna go and pile on a little bit of Aura Matte onto my brush and then dip it quickly into a little bit of Matte Soothe. Tap off the excess and start working that into the crease. And I always raise my eyebrows up so that I can really stretch out that skin and make a nice smooth surface for me to work on. And I'm just lightly, very, very lightly buffing this. I mean, like if I could change anything about this palette, there's a couple things I would change actually. But the first thing I would change is I would really like there to be a lighter matte transition shade. Soothe Matte is a little too dark just to go in all by itself on my skin tone specifically. But Matte Aura is definitely too light for a transition shade for my skin tone. So I have to mix the two a little bit, which is not that big of a deal. It would just be nice if there was like just a go-to crease shade that I didn't have to think about mixing or like matching the color from eye to eye. I'm gonna finish up this crease and then move a little closer to the camera because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. I realized I should have probably moved in closer sooner. There we go. Okay, now you can see. Blending back and forth and bringing that color up over my brow bone. If I was to like highlight my brow bone according to its own structure, there would be highlight from here up. And that is just too big of a swath of lightness for me. I just feel like it makes my eyes look kind of like they're drooped over, especially as I've gotten older. So I bring up any crease shade up onto my brow bone. It just makes a more flattering effect for my eye shape. I see makeup artists or beauty gurus just like working deep into that crease, and I can't do that. You kind of have to tailor whatever you're seeing in a tutorial for your own face shape. So there's a little bit of that in the crease, and on some days this is all I do. I'll just throw on a little bit of mascara, and that is a really easy look to put together for like an everyday thing. But I want to do more of like a Christmassy holiday sort of look. I'm going to deepen this up a little bit. I'm wearing this like maroon colored shirt, so I'm going to go in with this Morphe M507 brush. It's like sort of a pointed version and a smaller version of this M505, and I'm just going to dip a little bit into Matte Poet, tap it off, and then dip a little bit into Ritual. This Matte Poet shade, it sort of blends out to be a little bit more purple than maroon. Just blends out a little differently than it looks in the pan. So I add some of this chocolatey brown Ritual shade to it to just sort of alter the color a little bit. And I'm just kind of stamping right now here on this outer portion of my eye. It looks totally crazy, and it's gonna look even worse before we're done. But then I'm gonna go in and blend it out. And I'm just sort of tapping the most pigment right here in the corner, and then gently like feathering it out a little wider past and up over that ridge of my brow bone, again, like I did that crease shade. I'm kind of taking that color down over my lash line just a little bit. Not too far, not past like the middle line of my eye. Other than the fact that I love Tati, and the fact that I love how unique the color story and just the layout of this palette is, I love how easy these eyeshadows are to blend. Like, you can move and manipulate them wherever you want them to go. If you make a mistake, it's so easy to fix it and to make it right. You guys know I love drugstore makeup. I've used several things in this video that are found at the drugstore. But I've never used a drugstore eyeshadow palette that performs this well. So I feel like I've definitely made a really good discovery. That's the initial laydown, and I've kind of created the shape that I want. I'm gonna go back and kind of make the shapes a little bit more even with each other. I'm just gonna go in with this Morphe M505 brush. This is a clean one. I actually have 2 of these. And I just put a little bit of the matte aura shade, that lightest matte shade. And I'm gonna go to the edges and just buff them out, make them a little bit more clean and smoky at the same time. They just blend so effortlessly, and as a mom, I really appreciate that. I can keep blending and altering that shape as I go. Right now I'm just going to go in with my finger into Poet. This is the metallic Poet shade. Tap this on my lid. This is so pretty. Oh my gosh. I'm laying down this metallic shade, but I am going to go in with another metallic shade and kind of tone it down, because this is definitely more color than I ever do. With each additional shade that I put on, I just go in with the clean Morphe M505 brush and just keep buffing out the crease a little bit more. Aura shade, which is this gorgeous pearly color, and I'm going to go onto the center of the lid right here, and then take my clean finger and buff out the edge so that it just kind of blends in seamlessly like that. When you pop a lighter shade onto the center of your lid, it gives your eyes like this eye-opening sort of widening effect. This is the eyeliner that I've been using lately. This is the Neutrogena Smoky Kohl Liner. I have this also in the dark brown, and for more natural makeup looks, I do that. But for something a little bit more dramatic or glamorous like this, I use the dark black shade. And I'm just going and lining as close to my lash line. You guys have seen me do this. This is kind of just like the way I always do my eyeliner. Just lay down that liner, and now I'm going to take this e.l.f. smudger brush. I've had this for years and years. It just kind of looks like this, little flat. And I'm going to just smoke out. And this takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, I can literally do this with my eyes closed, or like with no mirror, is what I should say. And that's another thing that people differ in their own personal taste and style. I like to have a nice smoky line on my lashes here, but other people like a really nice crisp, like almost like liquid liner look. So what do you prefer? This is definitely my jam. I'm going to take that same eyeliner and also go in the waterline on my lower lash line. I just really like the smoky effect. I'm going to take that same smudger brush. Where did you go? I'm going to take that same smudger brush, dip it just ever so slightly in Matte Poet and Matte Ritual, and tap it off, and then rub this on that lower lash line. It picks up some of that black pigment from my waterline, and just kind of blends that in with the pigment from the eyeshadows in this palette. So now that I have my liner on, before I go in with mascara, I think I want to make these eyes a little less pink, and especially during the time of the year when my face is more on the fair, pale side, I try not to have too much pink on my eyes. I just feel like it just looks a little sickly. I don't know. So I'm going in with my finger here into the metallic Soothe shade, which is the metallic version of like that more camel color that I put into my crease. And I'm also picking up just a little bit of that aura, and I am going to tap more onto my lid just to kind of alter the color overall color of the look. You see the difference between the two? I feel like this is more flattering than this, just for my personal skin tone and my taste. Sometimes you just have to go back and play and figure stuff out, but there's still that hint of the pink, and the little bit of that pink metallic is showing through. So just kind of finger paint with it and make it what you want. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes and get some mascara on. The mascara I'm going in with today is the Collab mascara from Sally Beauty. This is the, oh, I'm not positive what the name of this is. I'll leave it in the description box for you guys. But I figured since I'm using the Tati palette, I might as well use one of her mascara recommendations. She was obsessed with this for a little while, and so I tried it and I really like it too. Now at this point you could go in with false lashes if you like to wear those. I don't like wearing false lashes, so I'm gonna call this good, but yeah, putting mascara on or false lashes on really just makes the look come together. I love this eyeshadow. It's just so pretty. We are not done because I need to get a lip product on. So I'm going to line my lips with the Rimmel Exaggerate. This is the shade Epic, 045 Epic. I don't do a ton of overlining my lips. I'll do it just a little bit. Now that lip liner shade is a little warmer than my eye look is. This is more on the pink side. So I'm gonna go in with the, is this L'Oreal Shining Peach lipstick. I wear this all the time in my videos and I always get questions, what's on your lips? But like that really ties in the eye look without being like too bubblegummy pink. So, and then to take away any powderiness or anything that looks a little dry, I'm going in with the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. This is nothing new. That just brings life back into my skin, and it makes anything that I put on my complexion look like natural skin again. You can see there's just a little bit of like this satiny sort of sheen all over my face. I love this. This is like one of my holy grail products. I use it every single day. It has been a hot minute since I've done any sort of highlighter. I'm not much of a highlighter person anymore, but because I know a lot of you really enjoy that, I'm going to put on this Morphe M510 brush, a little bit of that metallic aura shade. I'm going to spray it with my Milky Mist so that it lays down on the high points of my cheeks exactly how I want it to. Ooh. That makes a beautiful highlight. How pretty is that? If I do wear highlighter, I like to put a little bit on the apples of my cheeks too, because I just think it gives a very nice, natural sort of dewy look, and that is the makeup look, ladies and gentlemen. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with me as I got ready. I hope you enjoyed this holiday-inspired makeup look. It was really fun to put it together. It was so fun to have you guys here hanging out with me in my kitchen. I'm actually going to be filming a video after this, so my face is all put together for that. I'm going to be unboxing the winter FabFitFun box and seeing if there's any improvement on the fall FabFitFun flop box that I got. That video is up by the time this video is up, so go check that out if you're interested in that. But I really like how my makeup came together for today. Thank you guys so much for spending a little part of your day over here on my channel with me. Before you go, I would love it so much if you would check out some of my other videos. I have a whole holiday themed playlist, but this is the last video before Christmas, so if you are someone who celebrates Christmas, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, relaxing holiday, and I will see you back here on my channel next Monday for my 2020 goals. Really excited about that. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Merry Christmas, and I'll catch you later.